Welcome to the 150th broadcast of the T-Rose Show. This is Keith, and as your host, and got John with me.
Good morning, folks.
All right, we're going to have a hot topic tonight. Today we're going to be talking about warrants, and they're big issues. They're huge issues because, folks, I haven't seen one in probably 30 years, maybe. Actually, earlier than that, I don't remember ever seeing one. And I've been noticing that it's been common practice for a very long time that police officers or sheriffs or whoever they want to call themselves today don't have them in their hands when they're on somebody's property. We've got an example of this. I call this guy the state of Texas village retard. That's just because, that's my own personal opinion about him. Dangerous and ignorant. But we'll see. This is almost embarrassing to show everybody that may be listening or watching this in another country, that this is what we have to deal with all the time with the people they hire. It's unbelievable. So listen to this.
What can I do for you?
Open the door.
I don't need to open the door.
Open the fucking door.
You got a warrant?
Yes, I do.
Let me see it.
I don't have to have it. I got 2 warrants for your fucking arrest. Open the door.
Okay. I don't have to have it. Yes, you do. Dumbass. Okay? See, this is what I call the state of Texas city retard, because he has to have a warrant in his hand. This doesn't have to happen like this, folks. If he had a piece of paper, okay, let me show you this, just so you know that they do exist. Here's one from here's the state of Texas. I know it's a little bit small. I'm gonna try to make this a little bit bigger. This is all I could get off the internet. See that? State of Texas, warrant of arrest. See that right there? That's called a warrant of arrest. He has to have one of these in his hand. See, they have that signed right there? That there's an actual, there's a complaint against you, that type of thing. That's called a warrant. Well, Village Retard in this video doesn't understand that he does have to have this in his hand. Otherwise, what? He's trespassing. If he's trespassing, he's a criminal. See, just as we have differences between animals and people, where one is civilized and others are non-civilized, meaning they eat each other, and there's no, if one wounds another, there's no court thing. There's a separation between human beings and animals. Okay, that's just very common. What else can we do? I know this is going to be a hot topic for a lot of people, because they're saying the same exact thing that we are, as to why we have not seen police officers in the past 30 years or so never have an arrest warrant in their hand. See, we know that they're in California too. See, there's an arrest warrant, conventional arrest warrant, and it has a penal code on it. Tells you what it is. So what we need to do is reintroduce this whole concept of a piece of paper, which is 8.5 by 11. That's 8.5 inches by 11 inches. Because we got to make this simple for them, guys. And there's a warrant there. It says warrant of arrest, called arrest warrant. Okay, and you got to have that in your hand when you go and walk on somebody's property. Now, their property is where their property line is, and that's usually right from the road. So you can usually go up their driveway towards their house. That means you just went on somebody's property. Okay, so if you can't understand the existence of an arrest warrant, or what that is, or that you have to have it in your hands, then we have to explain to you that when you get in a car, there's a key that starts it, and then you put it in reverse and you back out if you need to, or you go forward. You got to press gas and brakes and everything. Then you go to somebody's house that meets is accurate information based on who lives there and the information on the warrant. See, there's a warrant there. And that has to have an actual signature by a judge, not just a line from left to right. Okay, or some other kind of crap, so you don't know actually who signed it. You see, there has to be a legible signature there. So when you go up somebody's driveway, you're not trespassing on their property. See, trespass means you're not supposed to be there. You're a criminal. And there's an actual statute in the state of Texas, and I think now in the state of Michigan, or I believe it's Michigan or Illinois, they authorized people to shoot your dumb ass if you're on their property without a warrant. See, you don't realize that we're talking to you this way because we're trying to save your life because of the stupid shit you're doing. And you're doing really stupid shit. Okay? So let's go back to the tape of the village retard. So we can show everybody how this, how having a village retard on the payroll, how this, what this turns into. Okay? This is the village retard. What's up?
Yeah, notice the language too. Real courteous and polite on the language.
Yeah, he's a very professional retard. Okay, now listen to this.
He says he's got 2 warrants he doesn't have to show
Open
me.
the door.
Let me see your warrant. You're trespassing.
I'll show you the warrant. I had 2 warrants for your arrest. One out of Atacama County and one out of Erath.
No, you don't, because you don't have them in your hand, village retard.
And then open the fucking door. I'm going to kick it in. Take your pick.
Okay, now we're threatening to damage personal property. Okay, now you have a sheriff or whatever that thing is. Okay, to damage property. Now he's going to damage property. So now he's even a greater criminal than he was before. That's an extra charge on him. So believe it or not, the guy that's in this video is still sitting in jail. And the village retard still doesn't understand what he did wrong. Okay? This is how it escalates a little bit further.
You need to leave.
I'm not fucking. I don't want to show you the fucking warrant. The warrants are good. That's why I'm fucking here.
No, you got to show me. You got to show me who.
Open the fucking door.
Oh, you got to trust me. So what he did is this the guy that's sitting behind the door saying, no, you have to have it in your hands. Oh, no. You're offending now because you don't trust me when I say this. And that's to hide the fact that he does have to have the warrant in his hand, literally signed, blue ink signature by a judge. Literally. Has to have that. In his hand. Which is so easy to do. This is why I call him the village retard. It's so easy to do. He gets paid to do it. It's not like his pay gets cut off when he goes and gets a warrant. All he had to do is just go get one, or have it faxed to him, or sent to him, printed, and say, here it is. Here's this one, and here's this one. And now guess what? The village retard is out of the case. Okay, it's not about him anymore. So he doesn't have to get all mad and offended. And by the way, someone really needs to introduce this guy to a toothbrush. Okay, please do that in the near future. And don't be sitting in somebody's front yard, sitting there smoking a rolled cigarette, because no one's telling what's in it, right? Now, here's your full retard, what do you call it? Full retard act.
Did you check with the secretary?
Oh, I'm so proud. He gets down there and kicks that door because he's so tough. When, guess what, folks? If I punch that man in the chest, he'd go 5 feet back. He'd be out of wind for a while. He's a little wuss. Okay? So here's the problem. This dude is an embarrassment to the whole country. I know there's a lot of people in other countries that listen to this video. Believe me, folks, this is a depiction of the whole country. This is what we're dealing with all the time. Every single day. Now, you bring this out, guess what? This same village retard turns around and says, well, you some kind of sovereign citizen? You domestic terrorist? That's what you got to deal with. So what they do is when you bring up the fact that they don't have a warrant, never had a warrant, they have to actually dismiss the case. And they know that. But when you bring it up, now they got to turn it around on you. So what do? They put you on a hit list. That's what happens next. Okay, so the next time you get pulled over, you got 15 cops with freaking guns all over you. Why? Because you asked for a simple piece of paper. Would you please do your job? This is like having somebody work for you and asking them to do something that they're supposed to be doing every day that they never do, like be on time. And when you tell them to be on time, otherwise we're going to have to let you go, they start turning you into a criminal, start saying that you're sexually harassing them or some crap, and then got your ass in court because they don't want to do your job. So this is real simple. This man doesn't want to do his job. Okay? He just doesn't want to do it. He's refusing to do his job. But yet he still pulls a paycheck every week. Why? Because they send the village retard out there when they don't have a case against somebody. And the village retard does it. They didn't have a case against him. It's simple. So this is how they manufacture cases. So all you morons that are investing in these cases and the bonds that they put in, every one of you are involved in all kinds of criminal activity. I know you don't give a shit. We get it. You don't care. But that's okay. You will care upon your last breath. You will care. Trust me on that. You'll care. Real quick. Okay, so since we have the village retard here, I want to introduce the village retard to Coco. This is Coco the gorilla. Now, Coco the gorilla, let's listen just for a few seconds.
You, gorilla, animal, Coco love. Okay, that's very good. That is you. You are a lovely animal.
See, Coco the gorilla is able to learn, what do you call it? Sign language. See, if Coco the gorilla can learn sign language, then you guys that have uniforms on, you can learn to get a warrant in your hand. See, if Coco the gorilla can learn sign language, you can learn to get a warrant. But see, Coco the gorilla is ahead of you on the learning curve because you guys still haven't learned in the past 30 years that you need a piece of paper in your hand that's signed by a judge. Okay? So be like Coco the gorilla. And since you're this ignorant son of a bitch right here, since he is the way he is, then he believes that this is his, these are his ancestors. So he needs to learn that his ancestors could learn. Okay? Because he believes he was a gorilla one day, before in that evolution. So what we need this guy to do is be like Coco the gorilla, learn something, and really, please figure out what a toothbrush is, man. Seriously, toothbrush. All right, toothbrush, toothpaste. Do that, please. So be like Coco the gorilla. That's this guy right here. Look at this crap right here. It's an alcoholic and high blood pressure. A little while anyway, so it really won't matter. But especially if he's an idiot like this. Okay, so just so everybody knows, this is what an arrest warrant is. An arrest warrant is an official document signed by a judge or magistrate. See, we don't see them signed. None of them are ever signed. We haven't seen that in years. So be like Coco the gorilla and learn how to sign that, okay? Okay, now which authorizes a police officer to arrest a person or people named in the warrant? See, that's usually on a piece of paper that has signed. It's a cop has in his hands. so that it doesn't cause a confusion that he doesn't have a warrant and holy crap, I can now shoot this son of a bitch right in the head and blow his brains out all over my porch. See, I can do that if the dumbass doesn't have a warrant in his hand, because there's no proof of a warrant and nobody's going to believe him anyways because he doesn't have a warrant in his hand. We all know that cops are liars. We all know that. They have joined in with the lawyers, and we all know lawyers are liars. They lie constantly. So they're all liars now, and we all know that. So they have to have a warrant to prove what they're saying. And don't get all offended, Mr. Cop, because y'all haven't had this warrant in a very long time. You don't even do your damn job. So if you're going to act like that, you're going to be treated like that. That's just how that works. Okay? So a police officer typically submits a written affidavit. Now, what that means, Mr. Cop, is you have to write down in something and swear to it. Okay? That you're not lying. See, you're automatically a liar because you have to swear to something to prove you're not lying. That's the way it is. You took an oath to uphold the law. You took an oath to uphold the statutes for the lawyers. And since you did that, now you're just picking and choosing what you want to follow and what you want to uphold. Right? Oh, y'all said that to the sovereign citizens too, right? So what's that make you? When you're just picking and choosing what you want to do. That's what a sovereign citizen does. And that ideology. So you've turned into what you have been chastising and murdering for the past 20 years. Okay? Now, to a judge or a magistrate. Now, a judge or a magistrate, usually in a courtroom. So you have to go into a courtroom to find these guys. All right? So we can get something signed. Arrest warrants are most commonly required when a crime is committed out of the view of a police officer. See, you didn't see. All right? He didn't see any crime whatsoever. So he had to have an arrest warrant in his hand. That's why you have to have it in your hand there, village moron. Oh, I'm sorry, he's a village retard. That's right. That's why you have to have that. So, arrest warrants are most commonly required when a crime is committed out of the view of a police officer. Once a warrant is issued, you may be arrested. Okay. If the guy had a warrant, he knew he didn't, right? The guy who was sitting behind the door knew he didn't have a warrant because why? Because they know that all cops do this same crap all the time. And it's true. And it's real. They do it all the time. None of them ever have a warrant in their hand. They have to have one. So the guy's trespassing and he knew it. So he put a little pressure on him. And he busted his door down with it because he's going to kick the door because he's a tough old man. He know what he's doing. Okay? And you're supposed to do what he says. That's how he is. All right, so that's that. Now, this is in a lawyer's firm here. So here's another one. This is what Washington State Legislature. And they can only do certain things, and this is what it is. Police officer having probable cause to believe that a person is committed or committing a felony shall have the authority to arrest a person without a warrant. Okay, well, this is not what was going on here. There was no felony involved in this, all right? And there wasn't anything going on. He was trespassing. So right now you got your criminal with a little rolled up cigarette there, right? Smoking like like he's his buddy. A police officer may arrest a person without a warrant for committing a misdemeanor or gross misdemeanor only when the offense is committed in the presence of an officer. Only. Okay? That's pretty much it. Except as provided in subsections, blah, 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 blah. Okay. Any police officer having probable cause to believe that a person is committed or committing a misdemeanor or a gross misdemeanor involving physical harm or threats of harm of any person or property or an unlawful taking of property or involving in the use of possession of cannabis involved in acquisition, possession and consumption of alcohol by a person. Oh, I'm sorry, I might be reading too fast for the cop. All right. Under the age of 21 years, under RCW 6644270. Okay, I got to slow down because, the village retard. Or involving criminal trespass. Okay, that you go look this word up. It's a big word. I know it's a big word. Okay, and shall have the authority to arrest the person. Okay, Now go look up authority, because I know that's a big word for you too. So if you can't figure out what an arrest warrant is, that's been around for a very, very long time. And apparently all of you guys have not even seen one in probably 30, 40 years, if not longer. You have to be introduced to it. So I know that I read that a little bit fast. So you might want to just bring the video back so you can understand what I said. All right. This is Britannica, a warrant in law, authorization in writing empowering the bearer or bearers to perform an act or to execute in office. So when you don't have a warrant in your hand, you're outside of what? Your office. That means you're some dipshit that just trespassed on somebody's land, and you're no different than somebody robbing a store. You get it? That's why you need to learn like Coco the gorilla. Okay, Coco the gorilla understands things, and he's able to be taught stuff. Now, you, on the other hand, are having a real hard time because you can't figure out what a warrant is. Okay, it's a piece of paper, so just realize that. A warrant is necessary if an arrest is to be considered legal. Oh no. Holy crap. Okay? Now legal means that it wasn't done against the law. So a warrant is necessary if an arrest is considered to be legal. Okay? So village retard, not legal. Coco the gorilla, smarter than the village retard. Got it? So if it's considered, so if he didn't have the warrants in his hand, it was not legal. Has to have them in his hand. Okay? Now, except in situations in which arrest without a warrant is recognized by law or statute, and we've gone over that, so it was really clear, but that's not what's happening. This guy was inside of his house, so there's no way that he could have committed any felony in front of the village retard. Okay? So he didn't have that. He had to open the door, and the guy admitted that the door was closed because he said, open the door. About 4 or 5 times. I was waiting for his teeth to come flying out. Okay? So, issued the behest of the complainant who provides an affidavit setting forth a fact sufficient to satisfy the belief that an offense has been committed and the person accused is the guilty party. Okay? So I hope the village retard sees this and goes back here and reads this again. So that was an illegal arrest. That means you have to let him go. But we don't expect that to happen. Because what happened to you, John, for 11 days?
I was arrested in the courthouse. I was in the peanut gallery. They arrested me. I was there for 6 days on an out-of-county warrant. After I was extradited to the other county, it was a remainder of 11 days before the warrant was signed.
So they took 11 days to manufacture the evidence that they needed to figure out how they were going to make what they did legal. Pretty much.
Yep.
That's what was going on. Okay? That's why the basic public will sit there and say F you all day long to cops that are sitting in lines and they're out there riot police or whatever. That's why they're throwing crap at you guys. Because you won't follow the law. You scare the crap out of them because you're a gang. You won't follow the law. You won't follow anything. You will not follow the law. You refuse. And you expect everybody else to just do what you say. And we're going to murder you. And that's exactly what happens. Then when you claim PTSD and get your $30,000 a year from workman's comp. Is that what you're actually after, guys? You just ask a free ride on everybody? When at the same time you call everybody else what? A sovereign citizen for free ride on everybody? So what's that make you? What, self-projection? Is that what's going on? Looks like it to me. Okay. a writ permitting and directing someone to take some action. See, even the Legal Information Institute, Cornell Law School, they know what it is. They know what a warrant is. Okay. Frequently, the term refers to a writ from a judge permitting a law enforcement personnel to take some action, such as make an arrest, search a location, or seize some piece of property. It's pretty cool. Okay. And they even have, I think there's in their company charter, they got what they call a Fourth Amendment. All right. Now, amendment means it's just they had to amend something. It means they had to change it a little bit. Okay. Got to slow that down for Texas police officers. All right. Fourth Amendment of the U.S. Constitution provides that the right of the people to be secure in their persons, houses, papers, effects against unreasonable searches and seizures shall not be violated. No warrants shall issue, but upon probable cause, supported by oath or affirmation. See, that's an oath or affirmation right there. Okay. And particularly describing the place to be searched or the person or things to be seized. Okay. The ultimate goal of this provision to protect people's right of privacy. Okay. So what do we have? We have the village retard coming in, trespassing, and invading somebody's privacy. What's that sound like to anybody else? Oh, that sounds like that's what a thief does. See, a thief invades your privacy. That's why you get so pissed off. You don't really care about the things that they took. You care about the fact that they were in your house and they invaded your privacy and took your stuff. Okay? They invaded your privacy. That is what it feels like. Okay? And then what it feels like after that is you don't know, you're pissed off because someone was in there without your permission. They invaded your privacy. They took your stuff, but you don't know if they're going to be back. That's called domestic terrorism. So what do we got? We got a guy here that thinks he doesn't have to follow the law. Thinks he don't have to follow it. He's pretty and he's special. He's special like Coco. Okay? Now, he doesn't have to follow the law, doesn't have to take any oaths or affirmation, doesn't have to do anything he's told to do. And because he's special. And then he doesn't have to he can invade your privacy and take what he wants and destroy what he wants. What's that sound like to you?
To me?
Yeah.
Well, he thinks he's above the law.
Just like sovereign citizens, right? Just like sovereign citizens think they're above the law?
Just like bank robbers and everybody else.
Mm-hmm.
He's too good to abide by the law, even though he's got an oath to uphold it. So that makes him in violation of his oath, violation of the Constitution, violation of privacy, trespass. Shall I go on?
So, not necessarily the violation of the Constitution. That just means that it's corporate charter. We all know that. So he's a company. So
Yep.
Basically what we're dealing with is a criminal with a badge. Now, you say that, folks, and we're talking about the rest of the world here. Guys, if someone like that says that here in America, you're a sovereign citizen, domestic terrorist, they will eventually assassinate you. That's how it is in America. Don't do business in America. Stay away from here. Okay? They will steal your shit. You don't want it. You don't want to be here until this is straightened out. Until we can get the basics of police work done and get the basics, just the basic warrant in through the thick head of the village retard here that he's got to have a warrant in his hand and to stop resisting. Okay? This moron here, this guy sitting on the video, he wants to charge the guy in there with resisting arrest. Can you freaking believe that? Oh, you got a resisting arrest. What? You didn't have a warrant, you idiot. You should have your brains splattered all over the deck for doing what you did. And he could have legally done it. But you know what? If he did, he'd be sitting in jail for 1.5 years, waiting for that speedy trial. And then if he got charged guilty, it'd be time served, because that's what they do. They pick and choose what statutes benefit them in their business because it is a business. It's private business. It's a business for profit. That's how it makes money. That means they're hired mercenaries. So this uniform is in name only. Doesn't really even exist. Because the village retard is actually out there in his own personal capacity. He's not in his official capacity at all. He just puts the uniform on. He wants to get paid. So he's going to damage and do whatever the hell he wants to get paid to do what he's doing. Okay? This guy probably isn't even on duty at all. And we've seen that happen a bunch of times where they're just not on duty. That's why they don't have a warrant. He's getting paid. He's in a regular job where he gets paid, and then he's moonlighting that regular job. And then using this uniform to do it, which he doesn't have the authority to do. So, yeah, he is a criminal. Big time. Big time criminal. So if you have police officers in your house or around your house without a warrant, they are not supposed to be there. They are rogue. They are criminals. Just keep your mouth shut. Don't say a word. Nothing. Don't say anything to them. Don't do anything. Because guess what? You're involved. If you do, now you're in cahoots and you're in conspiracy with them to commit a trespass, to commit these crimes, and you just became them. So if you did not commit a crime before, you are committing a crime with them, and they're going to turn state's evidence against you. That's what's going to happen. Keep your mouth shut. Don't say a word. I don't care if they're asking your name. Just shut up. Then later on, you can write an affidavit stating they did not have a warrant, they were trespassing, and I did not conspire with them to trespass and to commit these crimes. It's very simple. And if you have as many witnesses as you got in that area to see this and see what happened, okay, to say, no, they were quiet and they didn't say a word. Don't say a word to that man. All he had to do right here was say, do you have a warrant? No, I don't have to have a warrant. No, then shut up. Don't say a word. Then you're trespassing, and that's it. That's why they're hammering this dude that was behind this door so bad. They're trying to cover their crimes, cover their tracks. That's how they do. That's how they do everybody. So whoever's training them, and by the way, a fraternal order of police, that's illegal. I know that for a fact. And that's not supposed to even be there because you can't have a private organization that you have an oath to and also take an oath to the state at the same time. You can't serve two masters. So fraternal order of police organization, completely illegal. It's just a gang. That's all it is. And when you have real cops there, they will get all the respect in the world. All the respect. Because they have the spiritual backing that they need, and you automatically respect them. And I do. I think they had some of these guys that were constitutional sheriffs or something, and they didn't have all the, the military garb on their crap, look like emperors of the freaking city. They didn't have military this and military that, and they were good people, man. Hell yeah, I would jump in front of a bullet for those guys just to keep them up and running. Anybody would help them. Anybody would be there for them because they're real cops. They're real. This bullshit here, that's a joke, man. Really? Retire that son of a bitch and get him out of there. He's an idiot. He's nothing more than he commits more crimes in one day than most criminals do. He probably just commits a crime when he wakes up in the morning. He's an idiot. And believe me, I'll take my chances. If you got somebody like that saying they protect people, I'll take my chances. I think anybody else would too. And that's okay. He can stay over there. Screw that. I'll just do whatever, man. See, have a good day. You're going to hire dumb shit like that to try to protect people. Okay? So, I'm telling you, real police officers, you have all the respect in the world for them. You help them. You be there for them. And if anybody tries to witness against him or something, that's something falsely, you'll put your life on the line to say, no, that's not what happened. You would really do that, and you have a lot of respect for them. These guys, they don't have what do you call that? Romans 13 backing them. They're not Roman 13 material. They don't have spiritual backing at all. They're not real cops. They don't have the authority that they are supposed to have. Okay? They just don't have it. It just doesn't work that way. If they thought that this guy was such a danger, why would they just bring one moron out there that you can basically blow over? If you blew too hard, just blow him over. Because they knew they wasn't. They knew that the guy that was sitting in this house had respect for the law. They knew that. And they go after people like that have respect for the law. They know where all the chop shops are. They know where all the thieving's going on. They know where all that stuff is. They don't ever bust them. Okay? They bust people that are good people, that know the law, understand what's going on, and abide by it. They go after them. This is proof right here. They sent this little goofball out there, okay? One guy, he knew that no one in the house was going to do anything because he knew they abided, and he knew they were honest. And this video shows it. Otherwise, he wouldn't. There's no way this little coward would have put his life on the line. He won't put his life on the line for the law at all. No, he's a little coward. Okay, so they send this one guy out there. So they knew the guy in the house, not dangerous, respects the law, just simply wanted a warrant. I mean, it wasn't really that big of a deal. He just wanted a warrant. Just, where's your warrant? I'll be here when you get back. Not going anywhere. Told him that. I'll be here when you get back. Don't worry. No, you don't do new. Because he's an idiot. So he knew the guy wasn't going to come after him. He didn't pull his gun. Nothing. So they were going to get ready to rake this guy over the coals. An honest guy over the coals. This happens all the time, folks. It's sad, but this is the way it works. Until it changes. Until you get judiciary turned back to judicial department again, where the people are in charge again, this is going to keep happening. And guess what? This is not only this jackwit's freaking fault. It is now the people's fault. So this guy behind the door, he can sue the people for this. Every one of you are listening to this are all at fault. It is everyone's equal responsibility. That's your social compact right there. And that social compact is in deep debt because you have liabilities upon liabilities of trespasses and crimes and murders and rapes and all kinds of crap happening. And none of you are doing a damn thing about it. They'll put this man through the coals. They tried to take his house. Breaking him over the coals, man. They tried to do, we had to put liens on his house, put liens on this, liens on that, all kinds of stuff just to protect the man from the raking over the coals of what this freaking village retard's doing. It's over sucking on a cigarette like it's his last one.
And how long has that man been locked up now?
4 or 5 months now.
Yeah. Illegally arrested, illegally transported, illegal, all the way through, illegal, but yet he's still locked up. That's justice for you, according to due process.
Yeah, no due process, no nothing. It's sad, man. You're just sitting there watching people's lives just get destroyed. And we see it all the time. We watch it happen all the time. And this is their state legislature's fault that, you know, they don't have a social compact with the people. And so they kind of sit there in name only. So you've got corruption from the bottom to the top. I mean, it's bad, folks. And it's right out there, right in front of you all the time. And most people are sitting there worried about, you know, oh, they called that woman a man or what, you know, you're getting all that stupid shit. Stupid. Unprofessional. Nothing more than hell friggin' mall guard is better, more professional than this guy. Okay, if you're gonna put that uniform on, just watch your mouth. You're supposed to be representing the law, and you ain't doing. You're not representing. You're representing the devil, and you're acting like a Satanist and hedonist, but you're not representing anything that's righteous. So is there anything you want to add?
No, sir. I think that pretty much covered it, Keith.
All right. So that's how much respect I have for the village retard. That's how much respect I have right now for the state of Texas and its people and its law enforcement and its courts and its legislature. Y'all are far from being the greatest state in the country. Y'all are far from a lot of things. And I've never seen so many hypocrites in my entire life. Hypocritical Christians, hypocritical everything. It's horrible. I wouldn't live there if you paid me $1 million a day. Because of the people. And they need to get straightened up. They need to get there, crack a book every once in a while, start reading a book, you know, and figuring out that, oh, wait a minute, this is a warrant. Yeah, that's a warrant right there. We'll introduce that to you because you don't understand what that is. It's obvious because you don't ever use them. And you can't figure out the difference between a police officer and a criminal. You can't figure that out. You haven't made that distinction yet. So we're trying to help you out here. You don't realize we're actually trying to help you, but I don't expect you to really figure that out yet. You may figure that out later on. The more educated you become, you'll figure out we're actually helping you. But right now, you're going to be offended by what we're saying. And all angry and all that stuff. Because why? Because you're no different, or you're actually dumber than Coco the gorilla. That's why. You act like an animal. You react like an animal. You don't act like a human being. You don't react like a human being with some sort of class. You don't have any etiquette. You don't have any manners. You don't have anything. So I'm going to talk to you in language you can understand. I'm going to have to talk down to lower my standards to speak to you. That's how you guys look. And I'm trying to reflect that to you so you understand what you look like. That you're an embarrassment to this country. You're embarrassing. Don't even want to be associated with you. So don't force association here. Don't want to be associated with you. So the state of Texas legislature, if y'all want to secede, please do. Please do that. Because you're an embarrassment. Your whole state's an embarrassment. You're corrupt to the core. That way the state can fail, and when it does, then y'all can destroy each other, then we'll just come in and take the land. That's what we're going to wait on, okay? So all we got to do is just make sure that you guys secede, and then all the monkeys, you know, they start fighting because they're just dumb as hell. They start fighting, and then they all destroy each other, and then we can come in and take it, and then we can get decent people in there. It's a plan, you know, it'll work. So, or you can crack a book, start educating yourself, and start getting some class about you and some etiquette and raise your standards a little bit and start being real police officers and start being real court officials and start having being real representatives. Instead, you act like a bunch of freaking monkeys. So there you go. Okay, and folks, I'm just going to tell everybody, we've had this same BS for the last 10 years with them, 10, 12 years. We've witnessed this crap way back when. Same thing out of the same state. Stupid, retarded, dumb. I mean, it just, you got to slow the internet down when it goes down there, man. It goes too fast for them. You could type way too fast for them. They can't deal with it. So that's a massive education problem, and they really need to learn, something. They need to go study and go understand what their jobs are and what they're supposed to be doing. Okay, so thanks for listening to the 150th broadcast of the T-Row Show. I hope this is an example of what we see and how we see it every day when we're dealing with police officers with no warrants. We're dealing with judges that are getting money passed right over the freaking clerk and handed right to them. When you got lawyers that are twisting this and twisting that to make a freaking case so they can go sell bonds for the chief judge. When they got bankers over there pissed off if they're not getting enough bonds going through to keep the economy up for the rest of the world and keep this facade going through the U.S. Treasury, that their economy is about to blow up in their face. We could go on and on and on. And then they got secret societies called Masons and everybody else running the courts and everything else, and half of them have no idea what they're doing. And they have no class. So thanks for listening to the 150th broadcast of the T-Row Show. We hope you learned something today. And remember, police, warrants. Remember the word, warrants, signed, blue ink. Blue ink has to have in hand, okay? Remember that, okay? In your hand. That means paper sitting in hand, signed by judge. Okay? Which makes you good, other guy bad. So warrant in hand, good. Warrant not in hand, bad. Okay? So hopefully we'll get that. Thanks for listening. Talk to you next week.